The majestic liberty of sending off a piece of me to the world was both exhilarating and cathartic. Whether it was a positive or negative experience, I firmly believe that exposure to the world's feedback only leads to improvement. I remember, as the submit button was clicked and successful submission notification popped up on that unforgettable day of September 1st, 2022, the air carried a distinctly invigorating scent. There I was, sitting alone in the hushed humdrum of my apartment, my fingers gently tapping against the desk from the adrenaline rush, the whir of my laptop cooling fan and the faint echo of the city night, providing an apt soundtrack to my anticipations. After days of relentless work, frequent bouts of frustration intertwined with sporadic bursts of triumph, my masterpiece was finally ready to step outside my cozy cocoon. Even though a successful career in the digital arts was what I'd always aspired for, it felt surreal to actually be in those daunting shoes. I'd done it. I remember I reveled in the silence of that moment, feeling the weight of accomplishment settle in. A doorstep that was once painted with hues of curiosity and anticipation was now generously spread with shades of contentment and relief. My project was, on one hand, the manifestation of every extra hour I had put into honing my ability in 3D modeling, and on the other, a tribute to long years of persistence and dedication. Yet somewhere, a part of me was naggingly aware of the vulnerability that crouched at the corner of my success. To create something is to give a part of oneself away, and the unknown that follows can be as intimidating as it is exciting. But that day, as my project got enveloped in the endless layers of In the weeks that followed, my life took on a tempo of its own. My once static existence was replaced with a fervor, fueled by an influx of followers on my Twitch channel. A seemingly spontaneous, viral campaign had catapulted my online presence to new heights, and suddenly, the world was watching my moves with an intensity I had not anticipated. It was a dreamlike, winding ride of accolades and excitement, fueled by the exhilaration that rushed through my veins with each new follower notification that popped up. Surprisingly, I was not intimidated. On the contrary, I reveled in the limelight, enjoying the recognition that my relentless pursuit of excellence had brought me. One would assume that designers like me existed behind the screen, hidden from the world, oblivious to its scrutiny. But in my case, it was different. As both a VR environment designer and a Twitch streamer, I found myself enveloped in a curious mix of solitude and spectacle. My work was an intimate reflection of me, yet it was out there, dissected and devoured by millions of eager digital eyes. Fame has an interesting way of rewriting one's life, of bringing into sharp focus the passions and pursuits that once simmered below the radar. My designs were now fueling conversations among the viewers, dissecting the intricacies, praising the artistry, fiery debates over choices I made, and the excitement. It was intoxicating. Whether it was through appreciation or critique, I was learning, growing, and evolving, feeding off the energy that came with the recognition. There were moments when I felt like an ant under a microscope, but I chose to see it as an opportunity rather than a predicament. The meticulous threads of constructive criticisms plucked by the informed minds within my follower base pushed me to hone my skills even further. Each follower became a window to a fresh perspective, a new insight, a unique idea, and I absorbed it all. Suddenly, I was not just a creator, but also an eager learner, absorbing diverse perspectives that helped me build a much richer understanding of the artistic sphere I inhabited. Looking back, I realized that, in essence, the perceived anonymity of the digital space can be deceiving. In fact, the digital world is like a colossal canvas representing a kaleidoscope of varied experiences, where challenges became opportunities, detractors became motivators, and my perceived solitude transformed into a narrative of shared growth. Another year wiser. It was a simple saying, heard countless times before, but on my 25th birthday it rang true with unprecedented clarity. What once sounded like a cliched adage had now become a tangible sentiment that mirrored my growth. I could feel the transformation within me, a steady metamorphosis that had marked my journey over the years and led me to this point today. I remember thinking back, tracing the arc of my life, all the way from a wide-eyed suburban kid with a box of crayons to a confident artist navigating the thunderous rapids of the gaming industry with a smile. Each stroke, every pixel I crafted had told a story, a piece of my life put forth into the virtual world, a world that now recognized and appreciated my work. Yes, there were moments of self-doubt, times when I questioned my choices. Yet each obstacle made me more resilient, added a new layer to my art, and was a testament to the path I had so boldly chosen. But it wasn't just my artistic abilities that had grown. My attitude towards life, my understanding of the world, my aspirations. They had all evolved as well. The occasion of my birthday seemed to hold a new weight, not just marking another year added to my existence, but each candle on the cake stood for a hallmark moment that had shaped me. So when I stood there, surrounded by my close friends, each one a seasoned soldier by my side in the war against life's challenges, I felt a sense of pride, accompanied by gratitude. As the clock struck midnight and the chorus of "Happy Birthday" filled the air, my heart brimmed not just with joy but a quiet sense of accomplishment. After all, the journey to where I stood hadn't been a cakewalk. It was littered with potholes of self-doubt, speed bumps of failed designs, and detours that led to unexpected lessons. The celebration that night was not just for another year completed, but for every remodeled setback, every daunting commission-turned milestone, and for the countless small but significant victories that had helped me inch closer to my goals. On that day, I understood that birthdays were not just about counting the years, but celebrating the journey so far and the leaps of faith that have led you to the present. Birthdays are rightful moments of introspection, of reflecting on the progress and achievements both professionally and personally. As I blew out the candles, I found myself not making a wish but setting a goal, a promise to myself to continue the pursuit of artistic excellence and to remain relentless in my journey. I realized that being older didn't just mean that I was another year older, but another year braver, bolder, and better, celebration of my journey so far, and a welcome to the chapters yet to unfold. Just when I thought the year couldn't get any better, Twitch threw me a curveball. A pleasant one, though. Yes, I had hit a new peak with my channel. On May 10th, 2023, my viewership soared to rival some of the platform's largest streamers. I remember the day vividly. Me sitting in front of my computer, eyeballing the viewer count in disbelief, the numbers climbing seemingly on steroids, fueled by a torrent of loyal followers. Having accomplished this feat felt nothing short of magical. I mean, being recognized on a platform which catered to millions was something I didn't dare to dream about just a few years back. Yet here I was, riding the wave of digital revolution and expanding viewership. My channel had somehow spun into a vital networking hub, a communal environment where viewers could join in, chat, laugh, and engage with my content. In fact, that's what kept them coming back, I think. The entire experience wasn't just about the games I played or the designs I showcased, but it was about the connection, the digital handshake, if you will, that I shared with people from around the globe. Each stream, each interaction, each tally added to the viewer count was a validation, a testament that I mattered, that my work resonated, that maybe, just maybe, what I loved doing was making a difference. However, this newfound success came with a flip side, a constant pressure to produce quality content while maintaining viewer engagement. It was a thrilling challenge, but a challenge nonetheless. Yet, I welcomed it with open arms because challenges are what I thrived on. It was yet another milestone, marking the intersection between the worlds of gaming and digital art, and I was standing right there at the blissful center. Seeing the follower count surge, I remember catching my reflection in the screen's dark corners. It wasn't the same girl who had nervously started her NYU journey just a few years back. This woman staring back was resilient, unstoppable in her pursuit and willing to push boundaries. It was a symbol of my growth, or should I say metamorphosis, that had translated into this moment of unfiltered triumph. In that moment, I knew I was much more than a woman juggling between worlds of virtual reality design and Twitch streaming. I was building communities, fostering connections, and, in my own small way, helping bring people together in a world which was increasingly being seen through a digital lens. Over time, this reassurance not only became my driving force, but a secret key that unlocked new opportunities and milestones, leading me towards my destination, one stream at a time. Just as my Twitch channel was carving its place among the platform's giants, My professional life took an unexpected turn. I was knee-deep in VR designs when I happened to glance at my planner. The date leapt at me from the page, a looming deadline for a major project. I had known this was coming, but seeing it in black and white sent a ripple of panic through me. Strange how such a small digital number can carry so much weight. Suddenly, I was in the thick of it, buried in 3D models, coding, project correspondence, and all the nitty-gritty that comes with being a freelance VR designer. The project was intense, the deadline was tight, and to top it all off, it forced me to cancel my long-awaited vacation. I vividly remember seeing my bags packed by the door, ready to escape the cityscape for a week of peaceful tranquility, only to be halted by professional commitments. Though disappointed, I felt an odd sense of fulfillment. Even amidst the chaos, I felt an indomitable spirit kindle within me. It was, after all, scenarios like these that justified my fears of being overshadowed in this rapidly evolving tech industry unless I consistently brought my A game. It wasn't perfect, it wasn't pretty, but this was the reality of my dual life, interlacing professional growth and personal sacrifices. While most would crumble under such pressure, I felt oddly charged. The thrill I felt pulling together complex models under tight deadlines was akin to the adrenaline I felt while gaming. The intricate assets I had to design were as mind-bending as any game puzzle. The only difference was, this wasn't just for fun. My clients' satisfaction and my professional reputation were at stake. Every sleepless night, every quick meal, every canceled plan was a testament to my dedication, my commitment to my clients, and my unyielding passion for my work. As my eyes darted back and forth from the clock to my workstation and my Twitch feed, I learned the true price of success: relentless hard work and sacrifice. Yet despite the intensity of it all, I knew I wouldn't trade this life for anything else. It was moments like these that defined me, shaping me into the resilient, detail-oriented VR designer I am today. The pressure of juggling freelance design assignments and regular Twitch streams had grown intensely by July. It began to tug at my energy reserves, pulling me thin. My commitment to my career had driven me past my limits before, but this felt different. It felt like I was stretching myself too far, teetering on the edge of burnout. Despite assurances from my close-knit group of digital artists and gaming friends, the feeling of exhaustion creeping in was hard to ignore. The virtual chatter of my Twitch audience began to sound like white noise, and the sight of my 3D models started to blur at the edges. For the first time, I felt the joy in my work ebb away, replaced by a perpetual state of tiredness. With decreased energy came the decline in my mirthful natures during live streams, and the creative energy I normally channeled into my design work started to falter. I detected the change, and it frightened me. There was a lot on the line, not just professionally, but emotionally too. As my workload started to bear down on me, I took solace in my Buddhist faith. It functions as a grounding force, teaching me to accept life's inevitable flux and ground myself in the present moment. I found an odd sort of peace in the chaos, a stillness amidst the whirl of deadlines and designs and streams. Meditation became my combat gear, cladding me in a sense of calm. Before sitting down to stream on Twitch or diving headlong into my designs, I took a few minutes to meditate. The mere act of breathing in silence, of grounding myself in the present moment, brought a semblance of balance back into my fast-paced life. Somehow amidst all the chaos, I was managing to find some semblance of equilibrium. My resilience, the very trait that had got me this far, didn't fail me, even as the hurdles seemed to mount higher. I held on to my optimistic tendencies, my highest gear in the face of overwhelming workloads, reminding myself that I was stronger than I thought. Each night I threw a quick glance at my Twitch follower count, which never ceased to surprise me with its growth, and my designs that once seemed like an insurmountable challenge was now looking more manageable. Slowly but surely, I was getting better at understanding my limits and making better decisions, just as improving my art or upgrading my gaming strategies. My daily design work became therapeutic. My weekly live streaming sessions were becoming a sanctuary amidst the pressure. I was learning to still the wheel of my ambition, to temper it with patience, reminding myself that it wasn't just about speed, but direction too. I knew then that I wasn't just a freelance designer or a Twitch streamer. I was a woman learning to master the art of resilience, carving my place in the tech industry one design, one stream at a time. Perhaps the beauty of my life then lay not in its perfection but its complexity. The chaotic juggling act of my day-to-day grind was testament not only to my drive to be a top-rated digital artist, but also a reflection of my multifaceted personality: innovative, tech-savvy, resilient, outgoing, and detail-oriented. I was not one thing or the other, but a fusion of it all. Thriving amidst the chaos was the reality of my life in the digital cosmos, and truthfully, I wouldn't have it any other way. Despite the mounting pressure during that time, I could feel my career taking remarkable strides. Perhaps it was my broadening professional network, or my growing recognition in the digital media community, but I could sense the seeds of my hard work beginning to bear fruit. The frequent ding of my phone signaling a new Twitch follower, the buzz in the digital art community regarding my success, even the juggling act between commitments started to feel less like a burden and more like a victorious rhythm. As my Twitch followers hit an all-time high, so did my spirits. I was gaining the visibility I sought, or even better. The digital landscape where I had once felt overshadowed was now beginning to shift. The thrill of interacting with my followers, the zealous discussions about latest tech trends, the surprising ease at explaining complex 3D modeling techniques during my streams, and even the striking contrast between me and the usually male-dominated gaming community. It all felt transformative. The stronger connection I felt with my audience, the more I resonated with each aspect of my own identity. The digital artist who had doggedly pursued her passion, the Twitch streamer tackling the male saturation in the gaming scene, and the New Yorker thriving in the multicultural environment. The tech-savvy individual, the fierce, resilient gamer, the daughter of Vietnamese immigrants, I was a fusion of it all, living authentically and passionately. The irony of it all was that what seemed like intense pressure was actually my career propelling me to new heights. Each snag I encountered, each technical glitch I overcame, each demanding project I completed, each joyous moment when my followers spiked, they were all poignant reminders of who I was and what I had achieved. They signified my evolution from a vulnerable artist exploring her talents to a confident designer and a prominent streamer, admired and respected by peers and followers alike. They were not just reminders of my journey, they were also a testament to my growth in the digital world, my endurance, my persistence, and my ability to see beyond the immediate hurdles. And as I navigated through those complex patterns, I was reminded of the sleeve tattoo on my right arm. Tattooed in the vibrant hues of my personality, it was a visual representation of my story, of an unconventional pursuit, and of a young woman's leap of faith. I often mused about the strange link between my life and my work. Just like my 3D models, I had sculpted a life of fluidity and dynamism, defiantly forging my own path amidst the chaos. And just like my Twitch journey that seemed like an endless chase, my life too was a perpetual pursuit of knowledge, of passion, of progressing every day, of pushing my creative boundaries. But amid all this, my ambition was never about surpassing others or proving myself to others. It was always about challenging myself, about becoming the best version of myself, about learning and improving, about adding a meaningful chapter each day in my journey of becoming a leading VR environment designer and an influential Twitch streamer. I realized then that succeeding in this fast-evolving tech industry wasn't merely about keeping up with the pace. It was more of setting my own pace, paving my path, painting my narrative on my own terms, progressing not just as an artist or a streamer, but as Amy, the woman behind the screen, the ink behind each tattooed line, the resilient spirit navigating the digital cosmos, a testament to determination and hard work.